What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Christina, tu vecina favorita que maquilla, and I feel like it's been a few days. I've been a little busy, but I'm back today with another Let's Chat video. And in today's video, I wanted to discuss whether or not marriage is overrated. So I decided to do this video because of another YouTuber that I watch. I believe the name of her channel is Live with Leah Show, and this is something she has brought up a few times. So, it's made me kind of think about it. And so I decided to, come on here and ask this question to you guys. So whether you are single or married, all opinions are welcome. Now, I am not married, never been married. But I think we can all agree that these statistics surrounding marriage, especially here in the US, have changed quite a bit from the past, 60 or so years. I feel like, for one, people are getting married later in life. I don't know, maybe the percentages of marriages happening in general has decreased. I'm not sure, but of course I think we all know that the amount of divorces has increased. So that can kind of be a put off for some people. So just looking through opinions and stuff online, there seem to be a lot that they do agree that marriage is overrated, and their reasoning for that are a few things. They believe that marriage doesn't necessarily equate to happiness. Now, I think a lot of us, especially women, as little girls, we do kind of dream, of one day meeting our Prince Charming and getting married and living happily ever after. This is something we see from very young, especially like the Disney princess movies, stuff like that. There's always a princess, she meets her prince, and the ending is them getting married or something like this. So we kind of grow up with that, that dream, that goal of one day getting married. And we believe that once we're married, everything is going to be great. We're just going to be so happily in love and this and that. But some believe that just because you get married, that doesn't guarantee that you're going to be happy. Then they also believe that no one is immune to divorce. That no matter how much in love you are when you first get married, that doesn't guarantee that your marriage will be successful and that it won't end in divorce. Then there's a lot, and I think this is more so becoming like a prominent thought in today's society, that you don't need to be married to either live with your partner or have kids. Obviously, you don't have to be. And I think at this point, it's just become so acceptable to do that. And I myself was in that predicament. My kids' father, I was with him for 8 years, 7 of which we lived together. He had actually moved in with me and my family most of those years, and it wasn't until the last year before he passed away that we had bought our own house. And I had 2 kids with him. But honestly, this is my personal opinion from my experience. I would suggest, if you can avoid it, especially if you're under 30, just don't shack up. Don't shack up. Don't have kids outside of wedlock. I feel like it'll just make your life a whole lot easier. Because the thing is, just again, speaking from my personal experience, I feel like, especially for us women, when we end up moving in with our boyfriend or whatever prior to getting married, it's like you automatically go into wifey mode. And you start doing things like, doing their laundry, cooking for them, cleaning up after them. You want to cater to them, and so you're doing all these wifely duties, but you may not always get that wifey type of treatment back. Okay, and that's where I feel like, just from me, my advice, don't act like a wife to someone who's not your husband. Okay, because you may act like a wife to them, but that doesn't guarantee that they're going to act like a husband to you. And that was just what I experienced. So, and then there's a lot that feel that marriage is going to make you feel trapped. And I think this is more so a fear among men. So man, y'all can give your opinions on this, but I feel like within guy culture, it's like, I don't know, this fear or like this impending doom at the thought of getting married. And it's like, once you get married, your life is over. There's no more freedom. You are bound to this woman for the rest of your life. Like, you know, and that, I don't know, I feel like that puts men off from also wanting to get married. And especially in today's culture where side chicks and having multiple, you know, partners is kind of celebrated. I feel like that puts people off from wanting to get married even more. But all that aside, at the end of the day, I think in today's society, there's just there's on the one side, there's the whole not wanting to get married because of these things, but at the same time, I feel like there's just not so much of a need to get married anymore. And I think this is mainly for women. I think in the past, or maybe in our parents' or grandparents' generations, for women to get married, sure, they could have done it out of love and things like that, but I think it was also done as a means of security. Because by getting married, they had a man that they knew was going to provide financially for them and for their kids. Whereas nowadays, women are so independent and, you know, they're a lot more career driven and making their own money that they don't necessarily need a man anymore to give them that financial stability and security. And so I think that's one reason why women may be putting off marriage and also just kind of feel like it's overrated. So those are kind of like the cons. But even with that, I feel like there are some pros to being married. Well, first, there's some financial perks. There's marital tax deductions you can get, you know, sometimes filing jointly, you know, being married, it puts you in a lower tax bracket. There's also social security benefits, health insurance benefits, and, you know, inheritance benefits. And I've also read articles that say that, you know, people that are married are less likely to be depressed. They're less likely to engage in risky behavior, which that I think I could definitely see, especially for some of y'all guys, because y'all be acting a little crazy sometimes. But if you have your wife there to be like, what are you doing? Then you might not be as inclined to engage in some of this risky behavior. And at the end of the day, it's like you have someone else that is invested in your happiness just as much, or if not more, than you are. And who would not benefit emotionally from that? You know, having someone there that supports you, that wants to see you thrive, that hopefully believes in your dreams and supports you in that way. I think, you know, as humans, we need that. And if you believe in God and in the Bible very clearly said in Genesis, you know, it is not good for a man to be alone. So I think being that we were created this way, you know, to not be alone, I feel like there's just a natural need for us as humans to have companionship and to have love, you know, and marriage, of course, gives you that. And, you know, I still look forward to marriage. I don't know, I guess you can say, though, that my expectations for marriage are obviously a little different now than they might have been when I was, say, like 18. I think before I thought of marriage just as something like I want to be like super in love and it's gonna be all great because we're gonna love each other so much. Whereas now I'm like, all right, I need financial security. I need to be with someone that, you know, I know will be able to provide and protect. And of course, I'm going to put my part too. You know, I'm a working woman, so I expect myself to help him as well. But, you know, just that. And of course, someone that's going to take care of my daughters because my daughter's father is no longer here. The man I end up with is going to have to assume that position of being their father, like 100%. You know, so he'll have to love my daughters as if, you know, they were his own. and stuff like that. So, you know, what I look for in marriage, I guess you could say, has changed. But my final verdict on it is, I don't think it is overrated. I don't. I know people's opinions have changed over the years. And again, for many people, they just don't feel that it's necessary. You don't need to get married, which is true. I mean, nobody needs to get married, but I do feel that it is a nice goal to have. And again, at the end of the day, we all need love. We all need companionship. And when you're old and gray, who wants to be lonely? You know, who wants to grow up to be the old lady or the cat lady, you know, or the grumpy old man down the street? You know, like, you're gonna need that person there to give you your mind, to remind you to take your pills. And, you know, I remember seeing a skit from Sinbad, the comedian, saying, you know, you need to be with a woman when you're older that knows how to recognize the signs of a stroke, you know? So you're going to want that person there to help you out, especially health-wise, you know? So, yeah, that's my thoughts on the subject. Again, I personally don't think that marriage is overrated. I definitely want to get married one day. So let me know you guys' thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.